What a headshot! What a head!
How's it guys, this is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. And in this video, I'll be taking you through my very own team selection for the upcoming Game Week 9. So Game Week 9 could actually be a super pivotal game week in our FPL season, and that's because I'm potentially looking to bench boost in Game Week 9. Finally, will we actually be using the bench boost? It's not 100%, and therefore I would appreciate your guys' feedback if you would bench boost the team I will be showing you. Before that, I'm going to take a quick look at how Game Week 8 actually ended. As you guys know, West Ham played their fixture on Monday evening. So once we've taken a look at the updated points as well as the updated rank, I'll be jumping straight into Game Week 9, tell you about my transfer plan. I've got 4 free transfers, as well as the big question, should I actually bench boost? So if that's something you guys are interested in, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So Monday's fixture, West Ham, was not the best fixture in the world. If you guys don't know, Brentford actually ended up winning away from home, and therefore all you Bowen as well as West Ham defensive owners, even Paqueta ended up blanking. So that was lucky for us as we didn't own anyone in that Monday fixture, and therefore the rank took a slight drop to 4.5 million. So still a pretty good green arrow. You would expect that when the rank isn't looking that great at the current moment. But with all chips still to use, I'm still pretty confident in us doing quite well. So I scored a total of 66 points, but in the comments down below, how did your game week go? I've seen some absolutely massive scores as well as some pretty bad ones. As always, the comments is a safe space. Now with one eye on game week 9, we have a massive 4 free transfers and 0.3 left in the bank. And I'm probably expecting to use at least 2 of those next game week. So let's go over quickly how the game week progressed. I was actually considering using the bench boost, would have been a pretty good week to do it. Dubravka with a 9-pointer, Ndai with a 4-pointer, Tarkowski with a 3-pointer, and then Van der Ven with an absolute 0. So no, Van der Ven wasn't kind of missing through injury. He actually played this one, got a yellow card, plus conceded 2 goals. And he hasn't been the DEFCON threat giant I was hoping he would be, so that resulted in 0 points. So might not have been the best bench boost week, but 16 points is probably a dub. You guys let me know, what score do you guys think is a dub for the bench boost this season? With the introduction of DEFCON, I think the bar has been raised slightly. I always used to say 15 points is probably pretty good, so where do you guys think it is this season? Then our starting goalkeeper Raya was actually outperformed by Dubravka. He conceded a ton less XG though, so probably deserved the clean sheet more. But as always, Raya doesn't get that many saves. Then our backline was pretty disappointing, except for Gabriel. 12 points is simply sensational. If you guys saw the kind of Arsenal vs Atletico game, I think he got a 13-pointer yet again. Just seems like he's in great form at the moment. In the ultimate guide, I've been raising that the Arsenal defense is simply undefeated. Let's hope that does continue with this double up. Might even go for the triple up with some of those free transfers. Then talking about kind of Gabriel with 12 points, 1-2, Rodon with 1 point, Senesi with 2 points, definitely not performing as well as the Arsenal centre-back. At least I started Rodon over Van der Ven. Now with Senesi, you guys know that 3-3 thriller wasn't the best for kind of defensive returns. No attacking returns for him this week. Then our midfield department, Bruno Fernandes playing against my team Liverpool, ended up getting an amazing assist for the Maguire goal and also racked up those DEFCON points. So even though Bruno hasn't been that great in the previous games, this one hopefully is a sign for the future, and United have some good games coming up. Then with Semenyo only 1 assist, we did have this kind of uncertainty. Was he going to get a second assist? FPL ruled it out. I'm not going to go too in depth in the rules, but might have been a little bit dodgy. Struck also ended up blanking, and I just saw that the Leeds manager said apparently he's playing injured, which isn't the best sign. And like with Struck, Reinders was also subbed off, which is quite a concern. Generally, you do want your players to play the majority of minutes, and when these players are getting kind of 60-70 minutes, that's not that great. They are quite cheap though, but might be transfers out. Dayvy will be keeping the Man City forward of Erling Haaland up front, 26 points. Just seems like he's the perma captain at the moment, and just seems like João Pedro and Gyökeres are the perma 2-pointers. Just wish they could kind of look at Erling Haaland and maybe take some inspiration, but the fixtures turning might be the case, so probably going to hold them for the foreseeable future. Even with those 2 players blanking, those still managed to get a really respectable green arrow, about 1 million places. Let's just hope that continues. As mentioned though, how did your guys' game weeks go? Was it a good week, a bad week, a terrible and amazing week? Always a safe space in the comments. Now before we go over my transfer plan, as mentioned, probably going to use 2 free transfers for the Game Week 9 potential bench boost, at least to make our starting 11 look a little bit better. So that's the big question this week, is should I use the bench boost? I'm going to bring up the most realistic bench at the moment, which is Dubravka against Wolves, Struch as well as Rodon versus West Ham at home, and then finally Van der Ven against Everton away. Now yes, Dubravka has an away fixture, might not be the highest clean sheet chance, but Wolves have been struggling. But it's kind of that West Ham fixture for Leeds that makes me want a bench boost. After seeing the performance on Monday against Brentford, I think the clean sheet chance could be there, and then I'm just hopeful that Struch might get an attacking return. I do have some concerns though about Van der Ven. He's not getting those DEFCON points, and because I own Dayvy in my midfield department, I hope that he scores, and therefore Van der Ven's probably looking at a 2-pointer. Also big news that dropped today was Romero is apparently going to be out for the next few weeks, which probably does affect that defensive clean sheet chance quite a bit. So having started the week off looking pretty good, I would say that West Ham game looks decent for Leeds, but would you guys actually bench boost if this was your own team? Drop it in the comments down below. Now let me also showcase my starting 11 to just make sure that the bench is the weakest as possible out of my 15 players. I probably would start Raya over Dubravka. Even though Crystal Palace have been pretty good, Arsenal have the highest clean sheet chance in Game Week 9, so kind of a no-brainer just going for him. Then in our back 3, I've got Tarkowski, hopefully some DEFCON points and a potential clean sheet here. I don't own any other Spurs attackers. Same with Senesi against Forest with the new manager Sean Dyche. Is there going to be a new manager bounce? Probably not, as Bournemouth have been on great form this season. Then also adding Gabriel against Crystal Palace, the double up in Arsenal defense, I'm not too worried. But we've got 3 really great centre-backs with DEFCON threat at the moment. Important also note, all home fixtures this week could be a massive one for the home teams. At least that's what I hope. Then in our midfield department, we saw that Bruno Fernandes is the 2nd highest points projected scorer in Game Week 9. Pretty happy to have him against Brighton at home. Now my expectations here is probably quite a few goals to be scored by both teams, so let's just hope that Bruno's involved. Then Semenyo, Nottingham Forest, will they kind of tighten up defensively under Sean Dyche in a few days' time? Don't exactly know, but Semenyo's also been on great form. Then keeping in Dayvy at the moment for Spurs at home, I liked his performance against Man City, it's only going to get better. Just crazy that he offers attacking threat plus DEFCON threat. Then my last midfielder, it could be a debate between him and Struch at the moment. He was benched last night for Man City in the Champions League. Don't exactly know how nailed he's going to be for the future game weeks. If he does start though, Aston Villa away is still a pretty okay game, he could do well, but as mentioned, I'm not super confident. I am confident though in my captaincy option Erling Haaland, just the perma captain at the moment in great form, even scored in the Champions League this midweek. I generally hope though that João Pedro against Sunderland at home this fixture can be good for him, even though Sunderland have been defending well. I do back Chelsea to score quite a few goals. So let's just hope that JP finally gets a few shots on target and convert some of those chances, as in the patience with him has kind of paid off. Same I guess can be said about Gyökeres, scored 2 against Atletico Madrid, can he just do it in the Prem? I really am begging. Crystal Palace at home's a pretty tough attacking fixture though. Now has that kind of brace last night swayed your guys' thoughts of taking Gyökeres out for Saka? It might have just saved him for one more game week of information. I do think though with this starting 11 the bench is probably the weakest it could be. There might be a debate between going for Struch or Reinders, but other than that, would you guys use the bench boost chip? At the moment, I think it might be a 50-50. My only concern though is alternative weeks to use the bench boost is probably game week 18, and that's going to be after we get those 5 free transfers for AFCON. So the thinking there is using all the transfers before I think game week 16 and then getting the 5 bonus, and that'll probably give you a few transfers to sort your bench out. It is way in the future though, and is around that Christmas rotation which never can be kind, so might as well just do it soon enough when the bench does look okay. That's just kind of the thoughts in my head at the moment, probably a 50-50 to actually use it this week. Let's see what those press conferences do tell us. But now let's go on to the transfer plan. As mentioned, 4 free transfers, probably looking to use 2 free transfers, and that's going to be to bring Enzo in. Now we spoke about this, potentially looking at Dayvy out, but I've actually switched this up. I'll be taking Reinders from Man City out for hopefully Enzo. I'm recording this before the Chelsea Champions League fixture though. He has been training, he should be okay, and as you guys can see, Chelsea has some great fixtures coming up. And with my concerns about Reinders as well as the tougher fixtures, he might be a sell. If you guys have done the math though, you'll notice that I can't actually afford this transfer, therefore I have to do a downgrade. And that's where the super sideways move of Tarkowski to Michael Keane comes in. Now I know this probably looks pretty terrible, it's downgrading a more premium defender for a budget defender, but with Branthwaite out with surgery, I think Michael Keane is actually underpriced now. No ways would he have been 4.5 as a nailed Everton centre back in that team, and therefore I'm just going to jump on him and hope that he gets some defcon and attacking threat. Yes, I do 100% agree that Tarkowski is the better option out of the two, but if he keeps a clean sheet, hopefully Michael Keane also does. So I think this might be worth kind of the downgrade of a premium defender to a more budget defender to facilitate Enzo, but you guys let me know in the comments down below. I did briefly speak about the kind of Goycrez out for Saka transfer. Krupi Jr. looks like he'll be starting Forest, so that can be an alternative. I'm going to give it one more game week though. Are there any other transfers you guys would suggest? I was looking at maybe Van de Ven out. Just don't really like any of the other replacements at that 4.5 bracket. And unfortunately, because Anderson is out injured, I want to see how long he's going to be out for. If there's something else that you guys could suggest with 4 free transfers, drop it in the comments down below. I could potentially do a mini wildcard, but I don't think the team necessarily needs it. But maybe your team does. In the comments down below, let me know your transfer plan. If you guys need any help, join the Discord server. I'm way more active there if you guys do add me. And that's going to be the link in the description. Otherwise, please make sure that you guys do know it's a Friday night deadline. Don't miss out on it. I won't be doing a deadline stream this week as I do have a work function though. But this is basically going to wrap up the video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like it and subscribe if you have subscribed yet. Tons of content still to come up from now to the end of the season, so make sure those notifications are turned on. But for the time being, I'm signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.